What's going on, guys? Jetfan here. Konigsberg on the screen. Aiming system mod 1. Karl von Mueller. Basically, if you look at all those perks, they're all the damage dealing perks that you would classify as. Gonna hop right in this one in Konigsberg. This isn't the best gameplay, but it is a pretty high damage game for a tier 4 and tier 3 match. And it shows too a little bit when you're low health that you can still engage. You just got to be smart about your engagements, pick your spot, etc. Briefly go over Konigsberg real quick. Probably one of the best ships in the game. Tier 4 is a devastating ship at Tier 4. The AP on this thing is absolutely incredible. It is a killer with the AP. Cruisers need to really watch out if they're going and engaging against these. So just you're going to see early on here in this engagement that I'm going to get a couple of early shots here on some cruisers, and they're going to be some pretty hard-hitting shots. I don't know if this Konigsberg gets ripped, but I think there's maybe Pensacola or Konigsberg. One of these two is going to absolutely just catch it here a little bit. Once they get the right angle, once the angle opens up just enough, you're going to see the Citadel start to pop. So I'm slowing down here. I got the angle on the island, which is great. There's a double Citadel. There's a third Citadel, and there's first blood. So, once you get the angle, these are absolutely nasty guns against cruisers, especially tier 4, and honestly even tier 5. Like this is an absolute heavy hitting ship. And just real quick, you see me switch over to the HE. We have the extra fire perk. For slot 2 on von Mueller, so you are going to see an increased chance in fire with this. The HE and the Germans are not the best, but it's not horrible in this cruiser, so it's still a viable choice, especially if you're just going to be throwing AP. But if this battleship is broadside like this, AP is not necessarily a bad choice. You can fire AP and be somewhat successful with it. So we switch targets here to the Konig. Konig's pushing up pretty hard here, and we get one fire there. Just a good start. So we're throwing rounds out at this Konig right now, or the Congo, excuse me. Japanese, it's not German. Anyway, so we're throwing rounds out at him. So we're gonna throw some rounds up, and HE. So I'm in a kind of a rough spot here because if you look, there's two battleships obviously basically circling me here, so it's kind of a rough spot regardless of which way I choose. So my plan is to basically turn around here and try to start kiting away, and as I'm turning, I'm going to throw some torpedoes out at this Wyoming, who appears to be turning in, so I'm going to lead him a little bit there, and this next one I'm going to try to layer it a little bit to the left to cover basically a larger territory. So that battleship right there, the Wyoming, it's not necessarily paying attention to me. I don't immediately have to start kiting, but as you can see, he's slowly starting to turn in, which means number one, he's seen my torpedoes, and number two, he's turning towards, so his guns are facing me. Congo is also turning. I should say sailing broadside, so he's going to have some shots on me as well. It's just a matter of time until these guys either A, realize what a juicy target I am, like 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers from them, or they run out of other targets to shoot. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to create as much distance as possible. This is a good learning moment because if you have better map awareness, you're going to notice that you basically have a kill sitting there at whatever I am, 70 kilometers. And that time he caught me because I was not expecting him to actually look at that time. I figured he was buried down the reticle, buried down the scope, and wasn't paying attention. And of course he did see me. But again, we're just going to keep trying to shift the back end here, try to stay a little bit on the mobile side, nimble, try to switch up our angle and reduce whatever incoming damage is going to be heading our way. So Wyoming is burning, and I think Wyoming goes down here in a second. Yep. The Emil took down the Queen. The Emil took down the Wyoming. Excuse me. I thought it was a Queen for a second, but it's a tier 3-4, so it can't be. And there I take a wicked salvo from the Congo. So this is the point I'm talking about in this game. I'm at 93,000 damage, so you could say, all right, well, you did your job. You could, just try to play a little aggressive, pack it up, whatever. It shouldn't result in a loss, even though there's reds on our base. But anyway, we're going to address that in a second here. So this is what I was talking about, of how you can still stay in the fight, how you can try to compete, and how you can try to still A, do damage, and B, stay on the board to help your team out. I'm going to get lucky here. See where I am on the map? I'm about to run into the edge. Okay. So I would have dodged there, but I'm going to run into the edge, and I'm just going to keep getting pushed right in the middle of these torpedoes. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. I don't know. But all in all, that was a, pretty lucky game. And I want to highlight, too, have you noticed how long it's been since the Reds have been on my base and I have yet to look? Well, that's because I'm not having great map awareness. I'm worried about a damage number. I'm worried about doing whatever, You already see the Wither pop up. So Congo obviously ran out of a repair party, and we're just going to burn them. So another one of our allies, I think it might have been the Kaiser, got the last kill shot. So that's fine. I got the Wither and didn't get the kill. I really could care less about the kill. We're at 114,000 damage in a tier 3, tier 4 match. Just a stupid number. Just a stupid damage number. So this ship is what you would absolutely call high risk, high reward. I mean, this thing, it is devastating, right? I mean, and I haven't even showcased what it does against really cruisers. That one engagement, yeah, okay, great. Ripped the Konigsberg apart, but I mean, I had times where I was ripping tier 5s apart. Like, I was ripping Nurembergs, I was ripping Leanders, I was ripping, go down the line, Devonshires. I mean, I had one time in this ship, and I wish there would have been a better game. I would have showed it to you guys, but I ended up getting death struck myself, like, a couple seconds after this, but I've one salvoed a Devonshire, so one AP salvo took it from Foldenon, or 95% of its health. It might have been missing a couple hundred HP, but I basically dev struck it from Foldenon with 6 citadels. So, I mean, it can be done. These AP rounds are absolutely ripping AP rounds. So just don't sleep on them, is what I'm trying to nicely say. There's the high caliber. We're trying to help our teammate out, take some shots to Misuki, but Misuki ends up going down anyway. So now we're basically saying, alright, we have 3,000 HP left. We're basically one-shot territory. We've been one-shot territory for the last however many minutes. So we're just going to try to stay alive. We're going to try to give ourselves a good angle behind the island so we're not attracting damage. We're just going to keep trying to pump rounds out. Keep trying to help the team out, and keep trying to wither down the HP pool as best we possibly can. And that's basically what the rest of this game is going to be. Another, some odd minutes of it. But I wanted to just highlight this because a lot of people struggle with lower tier cruisers, especially. And I think the reason is because they want to sail straight in, and a lot of times they're focused in on whatever's in front of them, and they oversail. So then they give themselves a broadside to whatever enemy is on their flank, and they struggle with it. A lot of cruisers going down very early in matches, especially at the middle to lower tiers, I've noticed. So I just want to highlight this because if you're going to push, you have to know when to push. There's a time to push in, a time to get aggressive, and you have to have a plan. You can't just say that I'm just going to push and that whatever, we're going to push until we run into something, get into a fight, and hope we survive. No, You have to be more along the lines of, all right, I'm going to push up to this island to get the advantageous position I want, and then go from there. Right, so I can get crossfire shots, or I can do this, or I can prevent, a destroyer from coming around this island, and I can ambush him if he does. Like, you have to be very strategic, or much more strategic, I should say, than what it is right now in this, basically in the wild in this game. A lot of people are just throwing their cruisers away. I mean, this is a valuable ship. 118,000 damage is, if you're playing it like just a pure HP number on each side, 118,000 from a ship that's got 24,000. I mean, it's like, it's gonna end up. This game's gonna end up being like 5 times my HP and health. That's like that's some serious numbers, right? So just keeping in mind that these cruisers are the most heavy hitting and most carryable ship class in the game. What I mean by that is you can pump the damage out significantly quicker than a battleship. You have a better rudder shift. You're a slimmer target. You're more difficult to shoot and hit. Plus, you usually have some sort of consumable that helps you against destroyers. So cruisers are the middle ground, and I think the most damaging and carryable ship in the game, and that's why it's just tough sometimes to watch people throw their ships away. I'm trying to line up where he was last seen, the carrier here. I'm just trying to throw some blind shots. Obviously, not hitting there. So, but again, we're just trying to throw the numbers out. And, roll the bones. If it's 5-second reload, 6-second reload, whatever it is, like I'm not worried about it. By the time he finally does pop up. So here Langley pops up, and you're gonna see again, power of the Konigsberg AP. I think we actually end up ripping him, and he goes down here. Remember. Oh no, we get a bunch of shatters, so you're not going to see it right there. Maybe in the circle. Yeah, there you go. There's a couple pens. So Langley's, obviously about to go down here. Okay, and there it is. All right, so there's a sinking. That's your second. Let's see what our final damage count is. But I didn't play well. I kind of buried my head in the sand in this game, but I just thought it was such a ridiculous number. 127,000 damage. If you liked it, go ahead, give it a like, boys. Konigsberg is definitely a great ship. We'll see you next time out on the high seas.